I'm Brian.
And I'm TJ.
Welcome back. We have been on Margaritaville At Sea, the ship called Paradise. It was their first ship, and we are on excursion today at Nassau. We're at the Margaritaville Beach Resort here on Nassau, not too far from the port.
No.
And they have a water park attached to the beach resort, and it's an excursion they offer as part of Margaritaville At Sea. So we're going to show you around and talk a little bit about our experience so far and what there is here at the water park. Let's talk a little bit about our experience on the ship. We have an ocean view cabin. We are on the Paradise, and the Paradise doesn't have a lot of balconies. I think the only balconies are on or in the suites, if you have a suite. So most of the cabins are ocean view or interior on this ship. The room is clean. This ship was built or had its first voyage back in 1991. What I've noticed is they are always cleaning the ship. They're doing their best to keep it show ready at all times. And when we walked into our room, it was clean, it looked presentable, as you'll see from the footage. So cabin has been pretty good so far. We had one little thing where the sink wasn't draining, so we called about that, and they came within 10 minutes and fixed the sink. Not a big deal at all. I do want to notate that this was a paid visit, so technically this is an ad. I want to be upfront with that. We are hosted / paid for this trip. So I need to be transparent with you about that. Margaritaville at Sea is now coming to Nassau. They weren't before, but this year in 2025, they're making stops at Nassau. And so this is part of their packages that they're offering, their excursions that they're offering. They're partnered with their resort here, and they have a tour company that's bringing people over to the resort. Now, that experience with the tour company was not the best, I have to be honest. The tour operators are not Margaritaville At Sea crew, which all of the crew has been fantastic. Even the people at this resort have been really great, but the tour operator who brought us over here was not very good in terms of customer service, and so just need to be transparent about that. We kind of weren't sure if we were going to even make it to the bus because the guide was taking a large group of us over to where the buses are, and we lost sight of them. And so just be prepared for that. If you're booking this excursion, try to be in front of the group next to the tour operator. The tour operator didn't really seem to care one way or another if we made it to the bus or not, so we had to scurry over. The other thing, our bus driver was extremely short and rude to us getting on the bus. Once we got here, we were back in the hands of Margaritaville staff here at the resort, everything was fine. So I just want to throw that out there, kind of be vigilant of that. This experience that we have today is $150, so it is not cheap. It does include lunch, which our ticket said we have a choice of a hamburger or hot dog, plus it includes 5 beverages each. And then we have access to the water park. There's also Beachfront here. TJ is going to talk to you about the water park, what it has to offer, as well as what it seems the beach might have to offer. We chose to stay at the pool deck, but they do give us access to beach chairs as well.
So I'll go into a little bit more detail about the amenities. Brian mentioned the food and drinks. So when you first walk in, they mentioned that they have a changing room, and right next to that, they have a set of lockers where you can store your stuff in. And then all along the pool here, there are loungers, some with umbrellas, some are not. So if you want the shade, it's the perfect option. And if not, they have that as well. And so for the pool itself, they have one big pool, as well as surrounding it, they have a pretty decent sized lazy river. And they have inner tubes where you and the little kiddos can sit in. And then there's also, I believe, like 1 or 2 water slides that they have here as well. And next to those slides, they have the kids splash zone. So for the very little ones, you can walk around with them to get them a little wet. And then also, kind of like Brian mentioned, with Margaritaville crew, they have an attendant that walks around. She was super nice. She greeted us like pretty much as we were sitting down and asked if we needed anything, kind of pointed some stuff out for us. and we started off from waters, and she mentioned everything that's included as well. So that was super nice. So wherever you sit within the pool, they'll have an attendant come around. And then also you have access to the beach, which has loungers, which have umbrellas as well. I did overhear that they had some extra amenities like snorkeling and things like that. I'm not 100% sure if that is an upcharge or not, but that is an option for things like that. But it looks like a pretty decent sized beach. It got very crowded very quickly. So I will say, if you do want a spot at the beach and you want to make that a priority, I would try to get here as early as possible to snag a perfect spot for that. I'll go over a little bit of the timing. So we got up this morning. They asked us to be kind of all grouped together on the ship by 8:30 to get on the buses to come over here, and we got sat by 9:45. So you can kind of get a time frame of how long that took. And then they mentioned that to get back to the ship, we have to be grouped together where we were dropped off by 2:30, and the very latest that the buses will go back will be 2:45. So just make sure to keep that in mind. They might change, but just make sure before you get off to ask when the very latest for the buses that are coming back, just to make sure that you don't get left behind. And then I just asked Brian to pull up the map to see how far of a walk it would be. As we were driving, I was kind of just keeping an eye on like where we were going, just in case we needed to. So he pulled up the map, and it said it's about a 20-minute walk, which isn't terrible. And where I'm seeing, like where we're sitting now, we can see the other cruises that are docked here. So if you kind of make a beeline and follow the map, 20 minutes is not too terrible. So I imagine if you want to leave earlier, you could do that as an option. So a 20-minute walk back to the port where you're picked up from. And I will say, as far as walking, it might differ from when the last bus goes back. I mentioned the last bus that comes from here to back to the port is 2:45. I would just make note, if you're walking, to ask what's the last time you can board the ship, because that might differ from the bus.
That's a wrap for us here at Margaritaville Beach Resort, Nassau. We are going to walk back.
Yeah, we figured we'd just walk back.
So we'll put the time down in the description and let you know how much time, or we'll just put it right here on the screen, how much time it took us. Google Maps is saying about 18 to 20 minutes. So it looks like it's all flat surface. We're not going up any hills or anything. So it should be a pretty easy walk back, but we'll let you know how it goes.
That's good.
Overall, I think that the water park is nice, clean. It's nice that it's also by the beach, so you have a choice of doing the beach, or you have the choice of sitting by the pool and enjoying all of that. So definitely think it's a good option if you're looking for this kind of excursion. Maybe if you have kids and you want them to get some energy out at a water park, that's great.
I will say the food was pretty good. It did take us a little while to get, but that was probably because there were a lot of people in our section. We only had like the one attendant, so.
Yeah, we only saw one attendant. I think she was working the entire pool.
Probably.
So kudos to her, even though it took a little bit of time. Kudos to her for basically seemingly working the entire pool. Like we said, the staff, both on the ship, Margaritaville At Sea, Paradise, and here at the resort, the Margaritaville staff here, very friendly. So thank you so much to Margaritaville At Sea for having us, and we will see you guys next time. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye.
Right here. Bye-bye.